Hey guys, so today we're going to be playing around with the new La Prairie Skin Caviar Concealer. So I just purchased it and it just arrived. They actually have free overnight shipping, just FYI. And I thought we would do like a full day wear test since this is going to be basically like a first impressions for me. So I thought I would take you along the day, see how the concealer wears all day. And I just had to show you this beautiful box it came in. So it's like this magnetized box, a card, or is this my receipt? Oh, it's actually a thank you for purchasing from laprairie.com. Okay. We have the concealer in there. So the packaging is lovely, maybe a little over the top, but it is very, very luxe. So I enjoy that very much. And here, this is a much larger box than I was expecting. The Skin Caviar Perfect Concealer, I got it in the shade number 2. And it has 0.2 fluid ounces, 6 mils. Okay. It's a box within a box. So let me just toss this outer box. And then we have the actual packaging here. So here is the Skin Caviar Perfect Concealer. That was just a sleeve. And now we have yet another box. Wow, I feel like that was one of those like nesting dolls situations. Okay, let me just open this up. So the pen comes in its own velvet pouch. Sorry, I'm just looking for any kind of instructions on this box. This is the packaging. This is a really large pen. Is this what's happening? This looks like, is this a plunger? I need directions. All right, so there's more information in like the little sheet that comes inside the box. A lot of language about the caviar extract, which is like the main ingredient in here. It's part of their Skin Caviar line. It's known for its lifting and firming properties, the caviar water that contains the most delicate components of this rich source of nutrients. These potent caviar ingredients come together with an advanced blend of long-lasting pigments in a light textured concealer. So the cool metal tip gently massage away under eye puffiness, while an innovative ring releases the perfect dose. Okay, I think this is like a twisty thing. We'll get to that. The integrated round edge brush specifically designed for the various angles and surfaces of the eye area allows for precise, flawless blending for unparalleled complexion perfection. All right, so application. Remove cap and gently massage the under eye area with the cool chrome tip of the applicator using a press and roll motion from inner to outer corner. And then there's actually like this little illustration here. I don't know if you guys can see it. This little illustration here of like what direction to go in. From inner to outer corner. I hope this is what they mean. Press and roll. Does feel nice. It's very, very cooling. Okay, and then it says, twist the chrome ring to release the perfect dose of concealer and dot the inner corner of the eye above and below the tear duct. All right, got a little bit, and it says to dot around the tear duct. Push the base of the cylinder to release the integrated brush. I don't know if mine's like broken, but it's like already released. There's nothing I need to press. This is definitely like a button here, but oh, okay. All right. Okay, a little fussy. And blend the concealer outward along both the lid and the under eye area. Complete the application by pressing and rolling the tip of the ring finger to ensure perfectly blended finish. Okay. If I have to use my ring finger anyway, I will probably just start with the ring finger. Oh wow, I hope this shade isn't too light. I'm just gonna put this brush back and I'm just gonna use my finger and blend that in. Well, it feels incredibly creamy It actually feels like an eye cream, I have to say. It has like definitely a very smooth, like thick kind of cream feel to it. The shade is definitely brightening for me right now. I think it'll probably be perfect in the fall winter time. But right now with my tan, I think it looks a little bit pale, but that's okay. It has just the slightest bit of fragrance. It has that Skin Caviar scent. It is very subdued though compared to a lot of the other La Prairie products, but it's there. Very, very mild though. All right, so there it is applied to this eye. Nothing to this eye, so we can do a little comparison there. Really smoothed out my under eye. Wow, okay. I mean, usually I'm just fine so long as the concealer doesn't like emphasize my fine lines, but this is actually, it really looks like I just put eye cream on. It looks really plump and I feel like my fine lines are actually gone. So let me apply it to the other eye and then we can take another look. How could I lose like the biggest concealer in the entire world? Where did I just put it? Oh, here. So I'm not going to actually get any more product out because I felt like this was quite a bit. So I'm just going to use whatever's left on this metal tip. And I'm just going to use my finger. I don't know why I'm applying it the way they suggested. I would probably just put this on like underneath my eye like I normally would, and then just a little bit on my lid. But that's what they suggest, putting it like right in that inner corner there. I'm just going to turn this once and just a little bit popped out. I felt like I need a little bit more on the outer edge here. Okay, well so far I really love this metal tip. I think it feels really great. It's very cooling. It's very nice. I do like that you twist and some product comes out. I don't think you need this brush. If you have to eventually smooth it out, which you will if you're using this brush, with your finger, I would just go in with my finger. And without this brush, this container would have been a lot smaller. It would have been a lot more petite. Not that I mind one that's this big. It's actually kind of easy to hold, but it's a little bit large. Actually, let me hold it up to a kind of like regular concealer. Like here's the Ilia concealer. This is their True Skin Serum Concealer. And that's it next to the La Prairie. This is something I consider just like very regular, very normal in size in terms of a concealer. Wow, I have to say, I love the way this feels. It really does not feel like a concealer at all. It just feels like I put on an eye cream. And I cannot believe how it has diminished the fine lines under my eyes. Not just not emphasize them, just really made my under eyes look very like plump and moisturized. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say this is a skincare product with a tint to it. All right, I almost don't want to set this at all just because it feels like so creamy, but I think I should, at least for testing purposes. So I think I'm gonna set one eye and I'm gonna leave the other eye alone and we'll see how they wear. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use my natural lighting powder from Kogendo. It's just like my standard kind of setting powder, which I really depend on. So I feel like it's a good kind of like testing powder. So I'm just going to knock a little bit out. And I've got my Sonia G Designer Pro brush here, and I'm just going to set my right eye. I think it just looks just a teensiest bit more matte, which you would expect from a powder. Doesn't look dry or anything. So I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup and I'll come back. We'll do another kind of quick look at what's going on because it'll probably take me, I don't know, half hour or so. And then we'll continue on the wear test, but I'll be right back. Well, all right, makeup is on. I just wanted to share with you that I am wearing the new Chantecaille like tinted lip balms. This is the shade Verbena. I just can't get over how pigmented they are. I really thought that they were just gonna be like slightly tinted and it would be really difficult to be able to tell like the difference between all 4 shades that they came out with, but they're really like well pigmented. They're not like too much where I'm just wearing kind of like a shine type of lipstick. They're pigmented enough, but not too much. Anyway, back to the La Prairie concealer. Let me get out a mirror and take another look here. Okay, I really like the side without the powder so far, just because it looks so smooth, and this just looks a little bit more, matte. but powdering is really for like the long game. So we're definitely gonna have to check in and see if there's any difference a little bit later on. But wow, this is amazing so far. I think actually I'm gonna try some just around my nose. I think this shade is a little bit too light for my face, but let's just do it. Yeah, wow, that's really light. Let's just do a little bit around my nose just to see how it wears around there. And I was just looking for a brush, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use my finger. Yeah, in terms of coverage, I would say it's like a medium. I would not say it's like a full coverage. I don't feel like it just kind of like blanked out my eye area when I put it on, but there's definitely some coverage. It's not like light or anything. I would say it's like a medium. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning right now, so I'm gonna go about my day and let's go ahead and take a look at my first check-in. All right, so it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm doing my 4-hour check-in. So I was just inspecting my under eyes and the powdered side actually looks pretty bad. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like it's caking up right here underneath my eyes. It looks like it's almost like it's powdery, and yeah, it's like looking too dry. But this side without any powder looks really, really good. I think it's worn away a little bit, just a little bit. I feel like I had a little bit more coverage like on the outer corner here, but I feel like right underneath my eyes it looks really good. I feel like right here in the inner corner it looks really good also. But yeah, I don't like the powdered side at all. I think you guys can see it. So that is unfortunate. Of course, it could be that particular powder, so I'll definitely have to play around a little bit, but I am really liking this side without any powder. I think it looks really, really nice. So I'll be back in a few more hours to give you my final thoughts on this first day wear test. Well, hello. So it is about 7 o'clock in the evening. I was gonna come back at 6 o'clock, but I just lost track of time. So anyway, this is a 9-hour wear test, and I was just taking a look at everything in the mirror. I don't think much has changed since that check-in that I did at about 2 o'clock. I feel like this side, this is the side without any powder. This is the side with powder. And this, it's like this little section right underneath my eye just looks really textured, I guess is really the best word for it. The other thing I'm actually noticing now is I thought for sure, because this is a side that I powdered, I thought for sure that this side was going to look just cleaner, that there was going to be like less smudging either from like my eyeliner or mascara or whatever the case is. But this eye actually looks really clean underneath. And then this eye, I just wiped away some like mascara clumps. Like this side just did not work out quite as well as this side. And I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm not really surprised that this looks a little bit more textured because, you know, I did put the powder down. But I'm just really surprised that I feel like there's like little bits of mascara underneath this eye, and then this eye is like perfectly fine. I also feel like this side still looks really blurred. I don't know, I think that's pretty interesting. Usually, again, when I powder my under eyes, it's much better. It kind of just like saves the mascara, saves it from any kind of smudging, any kind of like weird flaking, anything. But it seems like, really seems like the opposite is true for this concealer. Again, this is just, you know, my first full day wear test for this, but I did use a powder, which has always just been my favorite. So just very curious, but I am loving the way this looks. And I'm gonna do a close up here, but look at how blurred my under eye still looks. Blurred without any powder or anything. This is just the concealer. So since I've put this makeup on, I've walked the dog when it was about 100 degrees out. I thought for sure everything was gonna melt, but I think everything looks okay. And I ran a couple of errands. So I was out in my car, out in a parking lot, and this side has definitely held up really nicely. I'm so impressed. This has faded. I think I mentioned this in the check-in. Yeah, I think I did. That this right here at the outer corner, I feel like has faded a little bit, like right here, you know, like where you tear. Not that I think I've teared, but like right in that area. That looks like it's faded just a little bit, but everything else looks really nice. So as for cons, let me think. Well, I think we don't need this whole brush thing, which is kind of janky anyway. We don't need this brush. I think you can just use your finger like I did. You can use the concealer brush that you have in your collection. I do like this metal tip a lot. There is that fragrance, but it is very, very faint. It doesn't bother me. I don't smell it once I get it on my eyes, nothing like that. It's just that Skin Caviar La Prairie fragrance. And this is a pro for me, but could be a con for you. I really like a concealer that is like more of a medium coverage. I'm not always like the biggest fan of full coverage concealers unless they have a very, very special formula where it doesn't look cakey or dry or thick or too makeupy under the eyes. And I did put it around my nose. I feel like that's kind of faded away because I see like the redness around my nostrils down there and around here too. So I think that has faded away. I didn't put a ton on, but yeah, there really isn't much left around there. And if I had to compare this to like probably my all-time favorite concealer of 2020 so far, which is the Dior Forever, you know, the big one. Hold on. This one, the Forever Skin Correct. This one that I've been using pretty much nonstop. I like the texture of both of them. I do feel like the Skin Caviar, like I said, this feels like a tinted eye cream. This just has a really nice creamy texture, but it still feels like a concealer. If that makes any sense. And I feel like the coverage for the Dior is like a smidgen more, just a smidgen more. I would not say that this is a full coverage concealer. For me, this is kind of like a medium plus. I think for me, the ideal combo is like this around the eyes and this on the face, because this really does feel very, very nourishing, and it just really makes my under eyes look fantastic. This is one of those concealers I was talking about in the beginning of the video where I'm just happy when a concealer doesn't accentuate everything. It just conceals, but it doesn't make my under eyes look dry. It doesn't sink into fine lines. It doesn't do anything weird. That's this concealer. It just looks great. This one actually looks like it plumps like fine lines. So I would definitely say that is one of the main differences. Also, I think this one lasts a little bit longer. The Dior, I feel like never, ever fades. Never, ever fades. Whether I powder it, don't powder it. I guess you could say this one's a little bit more versatile because I feel like when I powder it, I don't have this issue. So yeah, so those are kind of like the differences between these two, but I'm really, really enjoying this and really impressed. Okay, I'm just repeating myself at this point. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.